See, do we have sound? We have sound. Do we have video? Boom. Are you working? Yay! Alright, we're good. Noise. Okay. So, yeah, stuff's been super crazy, so I'm kind of all over the place with hobby. I punched my camera and then I punched the arm off of a guy, so give me a minute. I'm gonna find that so I don't roll over it with my chair. Okay. Oh, it's a kind of day it is. It's a kind of couple of weeks it's been. Ay, man. Whew. Alright. Chill out, life. I need a fucking break, dude. Okay. So. Hello. Let's go to desk cam. Because my desk is a absolute right mess right now. So, in some updates, I have my Swamp Works. And most of them from the Dominion box are all painted up. There's my guy on his Honey Badger. Looking super great. I'm really happy with how he came out. I need to finish their bases, but I will do that after they are top coated. So they're going to get top coated this afternoon. And then I will finish their bases tonight. And I can play them in AOS. I have not painted the Hobgrots. Maybe we'll paint some of these today. Come on. I have not painted any of the Hobgrots. Partly because I'm on the fence if I want them to be like the same kind of skin colors. I kind of do. Although lore-wise they should technically look different. And also, what I have on that stick there, that's 750 points, so that's enough to play a game. So I haven't been super stressing over the Hobgrots. Because there are 20 of them in the box, which is pretty awesome. And you do get a ton of unique sculpts out of them. But yeah, I haven't really hit them yet. Still trying to figure out what I want to do with them. I also have not finished the Kiloboss. His arm is magnetized, or his Stabgrot, because again, they're out of the 750 points. However, in my brain being dumb, I bought myself a Tau army. As you can see, I picked up the Star Pulse Cadre box, which includes 5 robots. 4 very, very snazzy. This is the Flying Boss robot. Come on. He is really cool. Tons of little detail, little fins and stuff all over him. He's got his big flight pack. He's got his little stand that goes up his butt, and then he can sort of fly there like that, which is pretty sweet. And then you get this artillery bot, who I was trying to magnetize. You can see the magnets there. But I couldn't get the magnets to be strong enough to hold up stuff like the cannon and all. So what it was doing is it was just doing this. And I hate that. So I'm probably going to glue him with the cannon. So I think the cannon looks cooler. The other option is rocket hands, which are pretty cool, but they're not like giant cannon cool. So I'll probably glue them with that. You also in the box get 3 of these bros, who are super adorbs. They're super, super adorable. These are the Crisis suits. These ones actually probably should look a little bit different because I added some sprue to extend their waists just to try to give them better proportions. Come on. Come on. There we go. Hello! Yeah, because I thought they were a little clumpy, like frumpy, if they had the shorter waist, so I extended their waist out a little. But you can get some really awesome poses out of them. Lots of personality and stuff. It's pretty great. So they need to get magnetized for their guns. So that's one of the things I have to do. I have to glue this guy And then I built all the troop teams as well. 1 second. We're doing that. There we go. There we go. We're doing that because otherwise I'm like, and it's really weird. I built all the troop teams as well. So you get 20 units of troops. I chose to build them in 4 5-man squads. So I've got a squad with big guns, a squad with like these little shooty blasty guns, like little assault rifle guns. I've got a squad with sniper rifles, which are really cool. They're really cool looking. And a squad with these like pseudo bazookas, which are also pretty cool. One of the things that I did for these guys, I didn't put any of the shoulder pads on any of these models. Come on, there we go. I didn't put any of the shoulder pads on any of the models. I don't know why, but like when I was building them, I had the shoulder pads. I tried putting them on. I was just like, these guys look so much better without the shoulder pads. They just look so much like less weirdly proportioned and clunky, because they're a little bobbleheady. The helmet design is, right, like it's a little big. But like that's made even worse when they have the really big shoulders on there. So I don't know. I guess the not having the big shoulders made them look a little bit more like troops and stuff, and I thought it was cool. So I chose not to put any of the shoulders on them. Similarly, none of the robots have the shoulders either, because I thought it also helped them look a little more proportional. Thought I dropped you for a second. Thought it helped them look a little more proportional. I also, on all the robots, snipped off the antenna on the right side right there, and or on the left side, and they only have the right side antenna, so that they match the soldiers who only have the antenna on the one side. I wanted to keep that consistent, because it was bugging the shit out of me that some of them had one on one side and some had two on, and some of the robots had two. So I was like, design-wise, this should be consistent across the entire range. But this guy, he's going to get his big cannon, and then he'll get his little accessories and stuff magnetized up, which will be cool, at least. But these guys, they get a lot of neat options and weapons and stuff. Like, look at that thing. It's cool as shit, right? Come on. Right? It's like, you can see like little grenades in there, and then it like shoots them out. Like a exploding tennis like thing. Where you got this really cool looking like plasma gun and stuff. So to magnetize these, I'm pretty much going to have to drill a hole in one of the sides and then magnetize it to the arm like that. Like thunk. And that's how it's going to work. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that today. That sounds like fun. I'm kind of all over the place. I'm a little bit of a mess. I apologize. And these are the like little Gatling guns they get. Here's some flamethrowers that I thought were cool. We got some rocket pods in there and all kinds of stuff. You also get a metric fuck ton of these. Where are they? Come here. Come here. These little drones. And I haven't built them all yet, but they're super adorable. And they're like batteries not included. They're just like, you know, they're super cute. I like them. They're really good. They're good shit. You get an absolute ton of them, which is really cool. Like you pretty much get like 2 for each thing. Oh, you also get this driving Twinkie thing in the Star Pulse Cadre box. It carries drones on the sides like that. It's kind of cute in how stupid it is, but at the same time, this thing is also really stupid. So, but hey, you get it in the box, so I can't really complain. It comes with the army. But it's definitely not a selling point. One of the cool things is that these guys, if I pull these out, right, and I just have this, right, if I have the boss, the 3 crisis suits, the heavy support suit, and then these 10 guys, that's a 500 point army right there. Which is really cool, right? You know, then if I wanted to extend it out, I could throw like a group of these guys in, and then go get myself like a Storm Surge or something, which is a really big Tau robot. And then, you know, do 1,000 points like that. So there's a lot of cool options, and it's. I'm not a huge Tau fan, but like, this is a really good box for getting to see the line, right? Because like everything in the box is unique. There's no duplicates at all. Everything is a unique model, which is really nice. It's one of the reasons I also really liked the Tyranid box that I got. There's a lot of the other ones that give you like a couple duplicates of each thing, and it's weird. And it's like, okay, this is probably good for building a massive army, but I don't want a massive army. I want a little army with, you know, a couple different robots in it. You know, like, you know, or I want like one big bug and some troops. Which, by the way, that's pretty legit. Just saying. Cool shit. Cool shit. Anyway, let's put him off to the side. So once my swamp orcs are done, my Tyranids are going to be my main project. Getting enough of them done to play is my goal once the swamp orcs are done. That even includes the new workbox. I'm going to work on my Tyranids. So that's what I want to do. I do have a new workbox coming, the new one that's coming in a week. But I'm going to be part of the second group my store is getting. So they're getting two allotments. So I'm going to be the second group. So I probably will not have it on release day, which is fine. Just, I don't know. This is a hobby. I don't fucking know what I'm doing today, man. I'm all over the fucking place. That's what I'm going to say. I will say you get a metric fuck ton of spare parts with the Tau. From like little blasters to arms with blasters to marker lights. This one has all kinds of the drone stuff on it still, because I haven't built the drone stuff yet. So I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with the drones, so I haven't broke them all out yet. But like, look at this, right? This is all the extra guns and stuff that you can give to the main commander guy. And a drone. There's a drone on here as well. But like, it's pretty crazy the amount of extra stuff you can get. This is extra stuff for the big artillery guy, including his like super death missile and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, they've got a lot of cool little updates and stuff. A lot of the stuff I'm not sure 100% what I want to do with it yet. You know, this was kind of a like, I'm freaking out impulse buy. This was not like a planned like, I want to have this army with this thing and this thing and this thing and this thing. It's not what this was at all. So, stop. No, please. So yeah. Alright, so let's see. We can paint some Hobgrots. We can magnetize some Tau. Or we can paint some Tyranids. Let's take a crack at the Hobgrots. That's what we're going to do. Alright, move on over, Mr. Tau. I've got a bunch of them sprayed already, so we'll give that a shot. Okay. Move him out of the way. Move that garbage out of the way. Okay, let's see what Hobgrots I've got sprayed. We'll pick one to start working on. So we've got... Come on. We got this guy here who's like looking at like a piece of gold or something. Like, ooh, is that good? That's what he's doing. You got this guy who's yelling and pointing his knives. He's kind of generic. We got this guy who's throwing a grenade. He's pretty cool. We got our banner bro right there. And we've got grenade yelly guy. Let's do the guy throwing the grenade. I think he's cool. We'll work on him a little bit. Alright, so for my Oryx, for the guys I have already. Alright, let me back up. Lore-wise, these should not be the same, because these are Hobgrots. So they're a little bit bigger, tougher grots from like a different area of the lore. They should not be the same as the Cruel Boy Orcs. However, if I'm going to put these in the army, I want them to match. And if they're different skin color and different armor colors and stuff, like technically they really should be, that's going to annoy the living shit out of me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint these guys to match, even though lore-wise they probably shouldn't be, just for my own peace of mind for army coherency. Alright, so let's see what we got. Alright, so this is Army Painter Necrotic Flesh. This is what I've been using for the green, like, swampy flesh on all the orcs, on all the cruel boys. And it's a little bright, but, you know, I hit it with some Agrax, and it really drops it down pretty hard. Alright, so let's grab Mr. Grenade. We'll just get some, well, what we'll do, we'll get some color blocked in on a couple of these. Because normally with models like this, what I would do is I would pseudo batch paint them. So like, I'm not going to paint, I'm not going to paint everything on everybody at the same time, right? Because I technically have 20 of these. But what I would do is I'll pick like 3 of them, 4 of them, something like that. And I will batch paint those guys. Right? So I'll be like, okay, well here's this guy, here's this guy, here's this guy. I'm going to paint all of their armors. I'm going to paint all of their clothes. I'm going to paint all their weapons. I'm going to do it like that. And that way it keeps me from getting burnt out from being like, oh, I'm just painting orc skin or whatever. And it also helps me feel like I'm making progress, right? Because when you hobby to like help yourself relax and stuff, it's very easy to get like overwhelmed by your own hobby, right? Like I really shouldn't have bought this tower army when I did. I should have just come home and built something or painted something I already had. That probably would have made me actually feel better than what I did. Which there's some irony in that, but we all make mistakes. And now I have robots to paint, which will be cool. But, you know, when you're hobbying to do that, it's very easy to feel like stuck under your hobby, especially when you're like, you have some, how does this guy's underwear work? Sorry, I have to really pull him into my face for a minute. There we go. There we go. Alright. It's very easy to like, to get overwhelmed by your own hobby, especially when you have like 20 guys to paint, 30 guys to paint, you know, 50 guys to paint, right? Like, that's a lot to like put on yourself to be like, oh, I have to get these done and then I can play, right? So when I batch paint like this, it's largely to counter that. It's to counter that feeling of being overwhelmed. You know, when I pick a few of the model, like a few of the models, like if I have 10, you know, I'll pick 3, you know, something like that, like some chunk that's big enough I'm going to get the benefit of batch painting out of it, but not so big that I'm going to get overwhelmed with a flood of half-painted models. To be honest, when I was painting the Tyranids, that's actually one of the things that happened to me, which is why I kind of went crazy with trying to pick colors and wasn't happy with every color I picked. Because honestly, most of the color schemes I picked were good. Some of them weren't, but most of them were pretty good and would have made a nice looking army. But like, you know, I was overwhelmed by the project, and you know, I let myself get there. You know, instead of being like, okay, I need to stop, I need to do one of these models. You know, I need to do 2 of these models. I need to, you know, break out a couple and do them like that. You know, instead I let myself get overwhelmed by it. So, there he is with his lime green skin. So, let's follow my own little advice I just gave, and let's do a couple of them. Especially with armies like this, sometimes picking out the really unique models like the banner bearer guys and stuff helps a lot, right? Because they're like usually a big thing and they're usually a lot different from the others. So like this guy here, the guy that's holding the gold up, like he's actually a totally unique sculpt. You actually build him out of the alternate boss model. And I didn't realize that when I was building them. Or I probably wouldn't have built this guy, I would have built the alternate boss. So instead, I actually made my own custom boss. Because in case I wanted to run these in 2 units of 10. You know, because I have some pretty big unit blocks with like Skaven and stuff, and they're a pain in the ass without movement trays. They are an absolute 100% pain in the ass. You know, it's way easier to move a couple models than it is otherwise. It's also with the Tau, for example. It's actually one of the reasons why I built them in units of 5. Because, you know, it's probably not as good, right? Because, like, sometimes you want the bigger units, because if you give the unit a buff, then more guys are buffed. And, you know, if more guys get blown away, then you have, you know, the unit's still on the table and all this stuff. But, like, you know, moving a unit of 5 guys is not that bad. You know, as like creep up the table from cover to cover kind of deal. But yeah. Yeah, these Cruel Boys, they're super good. I'm actually really, really, really loving the new AOS 3.0. As much as I love like the lore and the models and stuff for 40k, AOS is actually the better game. Like just flat out, it is. Like 100% it's the better game. Like the weird like interactions you do and how you get hero points and how they go away every round and stuff, way cooler than 40k. But I still enjoy my 40k. Still got all my armies and they're still rocking it. You know, another way to like really, I don't know. I guess I was talking about getting overwhelmed when you're painting an army, right? It's also really easy to get overwhelmed with multiple games. You know, like AOS and 40k and Kill Team and Warcry and, you know, I'm trying to remember your rules and stuff, right? I was like, I don't have any big army. The biggest army I have, I could technically field a 40k Chaos Demons army at like 2,000 points. That's the biggest one I have. It just flat out it is. And that's fine, right? Like I like the little armies, but it also means that like with all the different game systems and all the different armies and like, you know, the armies having different rules and different game systems and stuff, right? That's a lot to remember. It's a lot to keep straight in your head. There's a running joke that in AOS I try to I try to consolidate every time we play. There's like this running joke that when my guys try to consolidate in, which is where when, okay, so like say this guy kills this guy, blah, right? After he kills him, he gets to move. That's consolidating. You don't do that in AOS. You only do it in 40k. So like there's this running joke with the people that I play with that like, you know, my guys try to consolidate every single time in AOS. You know, that's not like, it's not like me like cheating or whatever. It's just like, man, there's so many games and so many game systems, and it's really hard to keep them straight. You know? It's one of the reasons I'm a little on the fence with the new Kill Team. I'm actually kind of debating passing on the big box for it, even though both the models look great. And you know, like the models look great, the terrain is great, the rules look really interesting. Like there's a lot I like there, but honestly, like, I don't know. I feel a little overwhelmed with all the different rule sets and stuff, and all the different models and all. I guess in general, I just feel a little overwhelmed, and the fact that there's a brand new rule set for something that, like, was my love, was my start into Warhammer, you know, Kill Team. The fact that there's like a brand new rule set for that makes me like a little sketchy, you know. It just feels like a little bit much, I guess. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be backing that or not. But we'll see. Oh, it just occurred to me I'm not on stream. I'm not on Twitch chat. So if anyone said anything on Twitch chat, I apologize. I did not get to see it. Instead, I just had the comments from my mom and sister saying hello, because they are very nice. And they will come and listen to me complain and rant about being overwhelmed painting plastic toys. But yes. Anyway. So yeah, the new Kill Team box looks amazing, right? Like just flat out, the models in it, like, oh my god, the orc like leather daddy with the hat, fucking golden. The squig with the fucking grenades in its mouth, amazing. So the models look phenomenal, right? But like the terrain looks phenomenal, even though some of it's reused, and the rules seem like they're going to be interesting. But I don't know, man. I just feel like I've got enough going on, you know? And I feel like that box is going to be super sought after, and it's going to be a real pain in the ass to get, you know? So tomorrow I'm going to go out and I'm going to break out my orcs. And we're going to do, me and another friend who plays orcs, we're going to do a big wah, pretty much with all of our orc models. There's my guy with his green skin. There we go. Pretty much with all my painted work models. I'm going to go out there, do a big wah, have a big crump, get ourselves some fight. Kind of as like a, you know, goodbye to orcs in 8th, but also as like a, yay, the Orc Codex comes out next week kind of thing. Like, so yeah, so I played orcs a lot in Kill Team, like, a fucking shit ton. They were my favorite faction in Kill Team. Yeah, they were easily my favorite faction in Kill Team. So like I played the living hell out of them. I had my tournament win with them. I don't know. I really, really, really like them. I think they're my favorite faction, or were my favorite faction in Kill Team. Ironically, I've never played them in 40k. I started putting together an orc list, or an orc army, after the death of the guy that plays Immortan Joe, because my orc army is entirely themed for Mad Max Fury Road. Even with all the custom characters and everything. My Gazgul Thraka has like a custom mask I sculpted, all kinds of stuff, right? They're entirely themed for Fury Road. I'm really, really happy with them. I've actually never played them in 40k. Never, which is really weird. Well, it's not really weird. I should take that back. With COVID, it's not weird at all. COVID rewrites the fucking rules for everything. But there we go. But yeah, I've never gotten to play them in 40k, so it'll be fun. It'll be like my first 8 orc 8th edition match and my last orc 8th edition match. Should be pretty interesting stuff. So there's another one. I'm just blocking in more skin color just because I'm sitting here talking about whatever I'm talking about. Just letting my brain run. Having some catharsis with my friend YouTube. You know. Let me wash that. The brush getting a little jank. This brush, by the way, is super jank. This is like one of those dollar brushes. I've been using it for a while, so it's turbo jank. But yeah, I was gonna play AOS with a friend tomorrow, in the afternoon. But I guess he doesn't want to play, or is doing something else or something. He hasn't returned my texts, so a little weird, but I'm going to try texting him again later today. Yeah, just got to wait and see what happens. I was going to play with my friend, but that's one of the reasons I was kind of rushing to get 750 points of Aurochs out of the Cruel Boys, because then I could take them to play with. Because when I did the little learn to play with the Dominion box right after I'd snapped it up, man, I had a really good time doing that. Super, super good time. The Aurochs are a lot of fun. They are really, really a lot of fun. Yeah. But man, I just have so many fucking projects. I've got some more Necromunda teams I need to finish, and oh, I've got these Tau now. Christ, too much, man. Too much. I don't know. I think I'm easily overwhelmed at the moment, and the fact I just bought a Tau army yesterday does not help, to be honest. But they're also really cool. And honestly, it was really fun to sit and build an entire army of robots. That was really fun. And they're bitchin' cool models, man. Like, look at them, right? Freaking killer robots. Cool as hell, right? Like, killer robots versus giant bugs. It's awesome, right? That's like mini Pacific Rim right there. You know? That's cool as shit. I love it. Alright, well, their skin needs to dry for a minute. So while it does that, let's actually do a little bit of magnetizing. Alright, you guys back up, because these guys' skin is drying. Let's take a look at magnetizing some of these guys. So, in the rules, each one of these gets one burst cannon, which is this thing. It's this Gatling gun. They all get one of those. And then they get whatever else I want. And then I can trade that out if I don't want it anymore. So, yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to magnetize on one of these burst cannons and see how it goes. So, alright, so there's a little nub there on the bottom of the burst cannon. We'll go ahead and we'll clip that off. We don't want the little nub anymore. It's just going to get in the way. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make our initial indent with this razor blade, which is super dull and old and covered in paint, and I really need to get a new razor blade, apparently. Okay, so we're just going to make a little indent. It's going to be our starting point. I want it to go this way a little bit more. This is just to make sure that when we drill into it, that this stays straight, right? So when I drill into this now, it's not going to go off target and get weird on me or anything like that. It's just going to stay on target, just going to drill right in. There we go. Just like that. Just, come on, little stuck. Come on. Alright. Oh, we were way deeper than I thought I was. Alright, so there is a 3mm hole. What we're going to do, we're going to break out the magnet box. I just tend to buy magnets and then they get thrown into the magnet box. This is a lot of magnets. I don't buy the expensive ones. These are ones from Amazon. So they're way cheaper than like what you would get at Army Painter. They're not quite as strong, but they're like 80-90% as strong, so they do a pretty good job. Alright. Now what we're going to do, a little bit of our friend the super glue. So this is Gorilla Glue gel. We're going to go ahead and we're going to stick it in this butthole, and we're going to glue the butthole up. Just like that. I'm going to stick our magnet in. Why are we wiggling? Stop wiggling, camera. And just like that. Then we're going to make sure the magnet sits flush. Just like that. Whoa! Alright. Now, we need to get a similar hole in the arm. Thankfully, there's already a spot started there. So we're just going to go ahead and widen that up a little bit. Alright, and this is going to be a little bit tricky. You know, we have to make sure that it doesn't, go off target, right? I'm just going to go ahead and just work that in there, just like that. So, ooh, as I apparently break the connection holding the middle of the model. Alright, we'll have to check that. There it is right there. Okay. And here's our magnet, just like that. So we're just going to do the same thing. A little bit of glue there. Taking our magnet and pushing it in, just like that. Okay. Take this extra one here. I don't want to lose this guy, so we're just going to put it there. Right. Oh man, actually, I did break that. Alright, we'll fix that too in a minute. I'll show you how to fix that. And boom. There we go. Nice and easy. Magnetize his gun on. So now if he wants other guns, he can swap them in and out nice and easy. Burr intensifies. Alright, let's fix his waist because I busted it. Actually, are we going to do that, or do we want to magnetize his other arm? Let's magnetize his other arm. Because I need to see if these guys are broken too. I don't think they are. But they might be when I magnetize them, so I'd rather just mix stuff up all at one time. So, alright, so let's do this. There we go. So that was the piece of runner I tried adding to extend the height. Didn't quite work. We're going to have to break out the green stuff, I guess. Alright, let's put his other Gatling gun arm in. Okay. So, same thing as before. We're going to start in the same kind of place on the arm, so the magnets are about equal, you know. Then we're going to just do one of these and just drill in a little bit. Oh, not on the camera. There we go. There we go. There we go. Right? Don't think that's quite deep enough. Gotta go a little bit deeper. We want to make sure these are flush. We don't want them to stand out at all. So, there we are. Just like that. Now we're going to clean it up. Just a little bit of extra residue around there. There we go. Alright. We've got to move it. Like to move it. Okay. Same thing as before. Glue in the butthole. Push the magnet in. Just like that. There we go. And now, because we're using this burst cannon as a source of truth, they'll be interchangeable on either side. So he can be like, oh, why did you pop out a little? Don't pop out a little. was just talking about how I wanted you to be flush. I guess it's not the end of the world. But yeah, now that we have that, he can go boop or boop. Boop or boop. Just like that. Swap it around. So that's how we're going to magnetize each one of those three guys and the boss guy. Boss guy is going to get the same thing. But let's look at some of these other weapons because they get a lot of weapons, and we can try to figure out how we want to run them. So I know I want a burst cannon on these guys because they're just cool, right? It's cool to have a Gatling gun. I also want them to have a rocket pod. So the rocket pods sort of go just in here, right? Like that. They just click in there like that. But unfortunately, once we paint it, that's going to be super bad for the model, so we don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to... Man, does my glue not hold at all? Because, like, the wing is wiggling now. Weird. What we're going to do is we're going to, again, snip that peg off, right? Or maybe we'll just put it in on that side. Yeah, that should be fine. That way we can keep the little peg, have a little detail there. This looks like a bigger area anyway. So we've got this little area. Sorry, that's not very clear. Let me fix it. We've got this little area here on the bottom, opposite side of the peg. That's where we're going to put our magnet in, and then we're going to put a magnet in the wing as well. So, all right, just like before. What I was doing there is I was checking the size to see if this needs to be a 1mm magnet or if it should be a 3mm magnet. So this is not a very big piece. You could do this with a 1mm. But I think the 3mm will be okay. Alright, just gonna drill into it. If we start to hit the sides, we'll swap to 1mm instead. There we go. Right. So these guys get all kinds of crazy battle gear you can give them, like sensors and stuff like that. A lot of this stuff, honestly, I just consider cosmetic. But these rocket pods, they are technically a weapon. And when I do my WYSIWYG models, I like to make sure all the weapons are right. Even if the war gear isn't. So if a guy is missing, like, a weapon, like, I don't know, like grenades or something on his backpack, I don't care about that. Or he doesn't have, like, all specs or something, I don't give a shit about that. But I like to have everything that has, like, an attack be on the model. Except for pistols. I don't really care about pistols either. I mean, they could have a fucking pistol up their ass. Who knows? Alright. So, let's see over on this side now. We've got the wing there. So we're just gonna... Do we want to stay with 3mm? Yeah, fuck it. We'll stay with 3mm. 3mm's good. 3mm will help everything down stronger. I'd originally actually magnetized the waists on these guys, but to be honest, I felt like once I had the weapons and stuff on, it would make the model a little too fiddly. If you really care about not seeing the magnets, you could actually put the magnets here inside, because these pieces are actually hollow. You can actually see into that one. These pieces are actually hollow. You could actually put the magnets inside. Honestly, I don't care, and they will have a tighter fit by the magnets being able to touch. They'll have a much tighter, stronger bond by being able to touch. So I don't really care that you can see it. Not important to me. There's a lot of like circular iconography on these things, so the fact that there's a magnet here, you know, once I paint it, you'll never know it's a magnet, so it doesn't matter. Okay, 2 magnet holes in the same spot in the wings, right? Just right there at the end. Lined up pretty good. One's a little deeper than the other, but it doesn't matter. Now let's get some magnets out. Let's see, there's a good one. There's some more good ones. I'm on the magnet hunt. I've got a couple different sizes of 3 mils. I've got 3 mil by 2 and 3 mil by 1. I'm trying to use the by 2s. Which I think this is more than deep enough for. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. Alright, so what we're also going to do is we're going to keep this burst cannon as our source of truth. Right? This guy is our source of truth. All the other magnets are going to relate to this guy. So one of the really cool thing there is then, if I wanted to, say, put a burst cannon on his back, I could totally do that. Just like that, right? Same way I could go ahead and I could put it on the arm here. Like, he doesn't have to have that on the arm anymore. It can now go on the back. Like that. It also means that everything is going to be compatible. Which is really good. Do I have a lot of those big, thick ones? So I can swap to the thinner ones if I have to. There's a good chunk of them. We can keep using them. I want to make sure I have enough of the big, thick ones for when I get to the bodies of the other guys. Alright, there we go. A little bit of glue in the butthole. And then we just shove the magnet right in there. Just like that. Boop. And now he can have a rocket launcher too. Let's see. Nice and... Ooh. Let me not drop it all over the place. But like... As I sit here, like I'm looking like I'm whacking off my towel. But yeah, see, no problems with strength or anything like that. So he's all magnetized. He's good to go. Anything else is just going to be extra gear that I want him to have. So yeah, he's ready to rock. Yeah. Okay. So that's how you're going to magnetize them. Tips for magnetizing as well. You can actually magnetize these drones because you don't get enough like heads for them. You can actually magnetize the drones. There's a pin and a magnet. If you dropped a 3 mil in there, you can magnetize the whole thing. Then you can put a 3 mil there and magnetize them to the flying base. I'm not going to do that because I have, like, if you get the box like this, you get like 1 billion of these fucking things. So like, if I run a 500 point army or whatever, I'm going to have all the options I could possibly want. So I'm content like just gluing them and fixing them. I'm more than happy to do that. Okay, so that's how you're going to magnetize a Tau. Let's look at some of the other guns and see how we're going to magnetize those. So let's look at the flamethrower. So the flamethrower's got a couple of different connection points on it. It's got a connection point there on the side, and it's got a connection point on the top. If we put it on the top, or if we put it on the side, it will probably look cooler on the arm, right? So like if that's right, that'll probably look cooler. But if we put it on the top, it will probably it will look cooler to put it on the back then. So like if we put it back here, then it'll look cooler. So we'll go ahead and we'll put it on the top just because I think that's the more versatile option. So again, I'm just going to snip that off. Going to get in there, create a little butthole so that my drill bit doesn't go off target. All right. Just spinning the tip around in there. You can see the tip on this blade is broken off a long time ago. That's from doing this. Like it's really hard on the tips. All right, then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna drill that out, just like that, just like that. All right, see we're drilling straight in the middle. So there's not a ton of leeway here for these. So there we go. Tried to throw that to the trash bag. I don't know if I made it. I hope it did. Okay. Let's get a magnet. Oh wait, we probably have enough room for the big ones. Let's make it a little deeper if we're going to try putting one of the bigger ones in it. The bigger ones are a little stronger. I really only want them for the, like 100% want them for the body, but they're already out, so I'll just choose the bigger ones. Alright. And then, stomp right in the butt. And, boop. There it goes. So you can be geared to the nines. He's got a flamethrower, he's got a burst cannon, he's got a rocket pod. You can mix and match it all around. And put his flamethrower on his back and put his rocket pod on his arm. Right? It can move all around if we wanted to. Flamethrower makes more sense on the arm to me, though. Alright, so that's pretty sweet. Let's look at some of the other weapons. Alright, so this is a cyclonic burst rifle. And this is an air fragmentation launcher. So this one, again, it's got a tab on the top. Come on, come on. This one, again, it's got a tab on the top right there. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cut that off and just drill a hole in it, like the other ones. I put these guns together last night because I just thought they looked really cool. I have no idea what's actually good on these robots. I've heard people talk about the burst cannons before and being annoyed you don't get enough of them. So, I'm assuming the burst cannons are good. Because you only get, for the box of 6 robots, you only get 4 burst cannons. Thank you. Yes, I love magnets. So. Oh, just drilling in a butthole. Just like before, right? Like none of the stuff is complex or hard, right? It's just knowing the steps, right? Like find the connection point. Complete, right? Like make sure the area for the connection point is clear. Done. You know, make my starting line. Done. Drill out the big butthole. Done. Like, you know, none of this stuff is hard or complex or anything like that. Like, it's just, you know, it's just following a little formula. Oop. And now he can have an air fragmentation launcher, just like that. So this model actually can't take 4 weapons, even though he has 4 hard points. But that's how you do that one, just like that. Alright, let's do this guy. Actually, hold on, let me look at the runners. Let me see. Alright, let's see. Let's look at what else we got. Okay, we got this guy here. He's got a tab on the top. So he's going to be done the same way as all the others. Clip the tab on the top, drill the butthole in, he's good. Alright, I'll be done in a minute. This guy's the same way. He's got a tab on the top, clip that off, drill in the butthole, put the magnet in the butthole, you're good. Those are really the other 2 main weapons I haven't done, besides this guy, who's a little more complex. This guy's a little more complex because he doesn't have a tab on the top, right? So we're going to need to figure out how to get him onto the model. So let's pull all these off for a minute. Alright, so this might be one where we actually put the model in on the side. We put the butthole in on the side. So, that doesn't look bad. That doesn't work. And then, that's how that would have to be. Yeah, because nothing else there works. So, we're going to have to put the butthole on the side on this one, unfortunately. Because he just doesn't have a thing on the top. We could have put it there and it would look good on the backpacks, but the problem is that then it would look really stupid on the arm. So, all right. So we're gonna pick one side because I don't want to do both. Because I don't want two magnets with the same poles pushing against each other, pushing themselves out of the holes. So we're going to pick a side. We're going to say this is a right-hand gun. And we're going to clip a little donger off. We're going to make ourselves a little butthole. Just like that. Just like that. Whew, okay. Sorry. This is not hard work, but I am beyond running on fumes. So I'm like, the E light has been on for like the last couple miles. You know, like the car is starting to sputter. That's where I am right now. All right, here we go. There we go. All right, drilled out our little butthole. I'm gonna clean that up. Get in there with our razor blade and just clean it out. Make sure there's no gubbins in there, because even something tiny, like a little bit of like extra like loose plastic, can keep the model from sitting flush. That's what we really want to avoid. We want to make sure that, like, you know, when we put our magnet in there, it sits right. There we go. And then lump. Push that down. Boop. Now he can have a cyclonic blast launcher, I think is what it's called. And he can have his rocket pod. The rocket pod goes like that. He can have his airburst fragmentation. Looks cooler on the arm. There it goes. And he can be geared to the nines. He actually, I don't think, can have this gun. I think he can only have 3 guns out of his four points. But there it goes. Yeah, you can mix and match it all up, because they're all using the same polarity. There's no problems at all. Everything moves on, everything holds tight. Yeah. And now if you want him to swap his gear, he just has to go to whatever the Tau equivalent of a mechanic is and get it swapped. I need to re-glue his waist because I added that little bit of stuff in there and apparently did not give it enough surface connection. So I'm going to put a little bit of green stuff in there. But my lunch just got here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it there. If you enjoyed this weird, rambly, bizarro video, thank you for watching. And, yeah. Remember to keep on keeping on. And I'll see you next time.